Hello and welcome to Whose Turn Is It Anyway, a podcast all about our gaming group and, of course, board games. I am your current first player, Dan, and I'm joined by the lovely Adrian.
Hello.
I'm joined by Bex.
Hi.
And I'm joined by the mighty Kerley.
The mighty Kerley.
Yes. Hello. We're going to talk about board games and our main topic today, which is board gaming regrets. I have many. Hashtag lots. But before we go through all that, how are we all doing today?
Great, thank you.
Recovering from a cold, which it sounds like there's a couple of us, so I think we might all be a bit down the mic.
It's that time of year still, isn't it? You know, and I think it's been like the 58th of January forever, even though it's now February and it's rained every day this year so far.
The good thing is that because I haven't felt like doing anything, is I've caught up on a lot of TV.
Nice.
But because I've not been very well, I've done the thing where you're watching a TV show, you've watched a few episodes, then you fall asleep.
Yep.
And then Amazon Prime or whatever has moved on a few episodes. You wake up, you're like, well, I want to watch Amazon. I want to go back to where I was, but you can't remember what episode number you're on.
Amazon Prime is good, but it's not that good.
So you're then like,
asleep.
yeah, exactly. So you're then like looking back through the episodes that you've just has recently played to work out which one you've watched. I feel like I've done that at least 20 times this week alone, just trying to...
You mentioned Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Have you watched Fallout Season 2?
Not yet, because I want to pay attention to that.
It's very good.
So what have I watched? I watched Lincoln Lawyer Season 4, because I like Lincoln Lawyer, and it came out like a week ago, and I've watched all of the season. I watched Cross, because they started Season 2. I didn't realise it wasn't all out, so I've done the thing where I've got halfway through the season and then gone, I've got to wait now episode by episode, which I hate doing.
Yeah, same.
And I have restarted. I watched The Diplomat.
Oh, he's scraping the barrel.
Which was okay. And I started watching Homeland again.
I quite like that.
Because I got to the point where, spoilers, she's in like it's not mental asylum, is it? It's like she's being committed.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I have seen it, but it was a little while ago.
So, and that story was dragging on for ages. So I got to that point, stopped, and then I've restarted from the start of that season again, and it's sort of got a bit good again.
I like Claire Danes. She's very good. She was in another season
Kerley
recently.
suddenly became more interested there. His
like
his ears pricked right up.
Do you?
Yeah.
Was it his ears?
So ever since ever since
I say Terminator 3. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Was she in Terminator 3? Was she?
She's in Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She plays Catherine Brewster.
I haven't seen that film.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
No.
Well, we are obviously now the Amazon Prime box set podcast.
Yeah. I mean, some of those are on Disney or Netflix
other services
or
are available. Should we do a little bit of Hex?
Let's
do
do
that. Run the thing. So this is the segment where we talk about what we've been playing. Let's start with Adrian.
Oh,
give me what you got.
Fair enough. So unfortunately, I was supposed to be playing games this weekend, but ended up cancelling because not feeling great.
Aww.
So I was hoping to have other games to talk about, and I don't. So I'm going to talk about Sanctuary instead, which is the perfect setup for how I feel about the game.
I can tell by looking at your face that you're feeling all the positive vibes about this Ark Nova clone.
So I was looking forward to Sanctuary. The idea of a lighter, more accessible, quicker version of Ark Nova seemed like a good idea. And the actions you do, basically what you're doing is you're building a zoo using your little tiles, similar to Ark Nova, except for the fact that each of the tiles has the symbology and what you're trying to do on each tile as you place it in the zoo. Now, it's got the 4 cards at the bottom, like Ark Nova has, that you kind of pick one card, you then move it to the left and everything increases in power. The difference with this is that one dictates basically your draft, what you can draft at the start of your turn, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then the other 3 cards are just play animals of different types. And the power goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and when you upgrade them, it then goes 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you play them from left to right, they're worth slightly more as you upgrade them. And all you're going to do is on the start of your turn, there's like a river of cards, and depending upon where the purple card that allows you to play projects is, that will dictate how far up the sort of the draft you can pick. So if it's on the 1 spot, you can only take the first hex. If it's on the 2nd spot, you can only take the 2nd hex, unless you upgrade it, in which case you can take further up. and so on. And so you'll take at the start of your turn, you'll see where your kind of the purple card is sat in your row of cards, and you'll take a hex from the draftable lot that's below that, equal to or below that number, and you'll add it to your hand of hexes, basically. And you're allowed, I think it's 6 at the end of turn, you'll have to discard down. And then on your turn, you can do 2 things. But the first thing you do is you take one of the action cards and you either play a project, or you play an animal that is kind of that value or lower, depending upon where your card is out of those 4 cards. And then you move it to the left and up. And basically there's like grass, water, and rock type Pokemon, animals. And you are basically, like, if the animal you want is a grass type, then you'll use the grass card to play it into your zoo, and it has to be either near the entrance or adjacent to one of the other hexes. What you can then additionally do is you can play a building for free, kind of thing. Once you've played your action card, you can then place a building for free, or you can take an achievement. So at the start of the game, you'll shuffle a load of little tokens up, and it'll tell you it'll have like European animals or birds or something like that. It's a combination of either the location or the type of animal it is. You shuffle them all up, and then you deal 5 out. And when you've got a 2, 3, 4, and a 5 achievement that are all worth different points, and if you have 3 birds, you can play your 3 achievement under the bird column, kind of thing. And then that is kind of each round. There's a few other things in there. So there's things like adjacency. So every hex you place in there, most hexes you place in there has scoring opportunities. So it's, all adjacent lizards or something like that are worth a point each, or anything connected that's all comes from Africa, for instance, are worth a point each. And that is pretty much the entire game. There's not really many extra rules. There are a few others, but nothing really crazy in there. And it's really boring.
After all that, it's really boring. Tell me why.
Because that's all you do. So you draft. There is ability to draft more stuff. Instead of playing a card, you can use that card in order to draw blindly from the big stack of hexes. But there's a very small bit of engine building on some of the cards, but it's about an hour it takes, and it is just draw 1 or 2 hexes on your turn, or draw a hex and play a hex on your turn. And then occasionally acclaim these achievements. It says in the rule book, for your first game, do not play with these achievements. It would be a lot of doing nothing if it wasn't for those achievements, because they really do make sure that, say you've got, it's either 5 or 6 different achievements that you can go after. And it really does kind of funnel you to go after certain animals or to sort of build a certain way. Otherwise, it's kind of a bit of a free-for-all, which is probably good for if you've got people who aren't board gamers. But honestly, halfway through, both players playing it were checked out completely, like were not bothered by the game at all. And I've talked to a few friends and they were the same. They were just like, there was nothing. 2 minutes into the game, we'd seen everything it had to offer.
Wow.
And kind of that was it. It's such a shame, because I do like Arc Nova. The 4 cards at the bottom, like Arc Nova, where you're moving them around, because 3 of them basically do the same thing with different types of animals. They're not really adding anything.
No, it just seems to be like, we're going to put this in because it's like the original, but it doesn't really do anything extra.
And as I say, there's a light bit of engine building where some of them are like, well, every connected African card you play allows you to blind draw something, or to recycle something, like draw a hex and put a hex back, or different things like that. But other than that, that is really it. And you're doing that for an hour. Every turn, you are just drawing a hex off the draft and then playing a hex into the board. And it didn't feel like there was enough in the game at all to keep me going for an hour, if I'm honest.
Sounds to me like a tile conveyor belt.
Yeah. The thing is, right, is I kind of got to the end of it and I was like, what was really missing? I couldn't quite put my finger on it. All I could think of was that there's at least 7 or 8 other games that I could recommend to someone over it. You want to play this, you could play Cascadia, You could play Harmonies, you could play Spectacular, Suburbia, Quadropolis, Tembi would even be sort of have more to it and play in a quicker time. If you want a quick game that's easy to teach, you show them Project L or Canvas or Azul or any of those, and they would either play quicker or with very little extra teaching, they would deliver a slightly deeper experience. Because there's a few iconographies in there, you kind of have to teach the iconography, so it's a bit front-loaded. Every time a new animal turns up, you kind of have to teach it. And yeah, it just goes on too long for the puzzle that isn't there.
Well, there we are.
Sorry.
There we are. Sanctuary. There we are. Bex, what have you been up to?
So I played a copy of Koi by DV Games. Played it from like a library at an event that we've been to, and then immediately bought it, as is my
as is your
style,
way,
like you did with Project L.
Like I did with Project L.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I'd bought that after the first turn, hadn't I?
Yeah, we played it together, and then turn one, and you bought it.
Yeah. Well, I was getting 20% off, so I thought,
why not?
You've got to do it.
No
Exactly.
brainer.
So Koi is a tile laying pond building game. Basically, you've got koi fish, as the name would suggest, and you are trying to make the nicest environment for your koi to score bigger points. So you've got a sort of river of cards on one side, which is I think it's called the meditate action, where you choose which card you're going to have. So when you choose a card, you get the thing that the card says, which might be an immediate thing like an extra tile or a fish or whatever, and you get the thing that's underneath the card. And when you pick your card, all the cards shift up. So you've got varying different kind of rewards and the card. So you can use some of your cards kind of become a bit of an engine building kind of a thing. So if you choose not to go to the meditation area and get a card, you do your working kind of action, which might be lay a fish, lay an extra bit of pond.
I love to lay a fish.
Lay that fish.
I love to lay a fish.
And the beautiful thing is with this, the koi fish are on like clear acetate.
I've just had a look
acetate.
on BGG. I've got my iPad here, and it's really
Absolutely
pretty.
beautiful.
Looks
really
lovely, doesn't it?
pretty.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you
And I'm
start
a
off-
sucker for a pretty
you start
game.
off with it's in all hexes, which is why it's nice. You start off with, I think it's a 3 and a 2, like the size 5 Arc Nova pens, so like a 3 hex and a 2 hex underneath it, and then you do certain things to get more pond or what's it called? When it's got leaves on it, like a verdant
tree.
bit. No.
Oh, okay.
No, but there is trees involved. Actually, well, there's
Like
bark.
Bridges as well, aren't there?
Yeah,
Bridges
so
and things.
Your basic, like a fertile bit of pond.
Yeah.
And then the next turn, if you've got a fertile bit of pond and you do the work action, you can put a little lily pad, like a little lotus flower on that bit of pond. So you're scoring points with how many fish you've got in, but also if the fish have got, say, water all the way around them, you score double with them. So it's kind of like a chaining kind of a thing. So on your work action, you can do one thing. You could either upgrade a thing, lay a fish, that sort of thing. But if you've picked out certain cards from the market, you can then do the action on that. So you can chain them nicely. So your work action might be make a bit of your pond fertile. And then you might have the card that you've picked from the market that says, if you've got a fertile bit of pond, put a lotus blossom on it. And then the next card you might have had, if you've got another thing, you can do another. So you're trying to make like a chain, but you're also trying to make a really beautiful fish pond. There's things that you put around it, like Buddha statues or lanterns that make things in front of it. So it is a bit like tile adjacency. If you've got fish in front of the Buddha statue, you get an extra 4 VP, 8. I can't remember what it is, but an amount of VP.
What is funny is that, on BGG, you've got that button that says fans also like, and it shows you other games that maybe like that
I
game.
didn't know that button existed. Go on.
Yeah. So on every game page, it's about halfway down as a button, and it will
did not
show
know that.
you similar games to the one that you're describing. And Sanctuary is listed there.
Really?
Yeah, which is really funny.
It doesn't sound anything like Sanctuary.
No, but I remember looking at Sanctuary's other games you might like, and there's a load of games I do actually like that say
okay.
they're like Sanctuary, but I found Sanctuary not the same. So
It sounds similar because it's about hexes, which, so many games are, so that's not exactly and you've only got 2 different things you do. You either meditate and get cards from the thing, which might mean you can also buy a fish from the fish market, or you work, which is basically do up your pond.
Yeah.
And you keep I can't think what the end scoring is. I think maybe when you run out of fish or... Yeah, I can't remember.
It's really pretty,
It's
though.
quite a quick game to play. And
45 minutes, they say.
Yeah, something like that. I think probably we maybe played it about an hour, but that's because 2 of us had never played before and one person had only played once. So we were not having to look at much stuff in the rules because it is very, I would say, very sort of obvious.
Everything you're saying about this game is like... What I know about you is like this is like ticking every single box.
Yeah, it was. I could tell as soon as we took it out of the box. Like, yeah, I'm going to like this.
Yeah.
I just knew I would, and it really does hold up. But there's enough in it. If you get the right cards and get the right combos going, it's very satisfying when you can do that one thing which leads to this, which leads to this, which leads to this, and that's really, really a nice sort of satisfying feeling. So you might have chaining sort of work objectives, or you might have, I don't know. Sometimes you're going to get more VPs for every card that's got a picture of a well on it, for example. So you don't have to kind of try and do these combo things. You can just look for what you've got lots of, that sort of thing. There's lots of ways of getting points. Yeah, it's just very beautiful. It's a beautiful artwork. Simple enough, but a bit more of a bite to get your teeth into if you want to. So would recommend.
Nice.
And it was about, I want to say it's about 40 quid,
yeah,
35 quid. So it's not crazy.
I looked it up when you first put it on, when you showed pictures of playing it. I was like, I need to have a look at this game and see what it's about. But I know you own it, so
yeah, no, we'll have to get a gaming.
I'd be keen for that. Yeah,
it's a simple game. It's I don't know. I think BG put it at 2 point something, 2.07. Yeah. So yeah, it is light.
That's a 2 or 3 games a night.
Stretch at medium, but yes, you could easily play a couple of games of this or this and something else, definitely.
Nice.
But yeah, really pretty, satisfying, I would say.
Fish.
Yeah, fish aside.
Fishes.
It's still pretty and satisfying.
Nice. So Kerley, what about you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, so I've been playing a few different games, but I'm going to talk about Fjordar, which is a game that I played with Mark Monk, who's reviewing a copy, I believe, for Paul Grogan from Gaming Rules. Yeah, really, really fun game. It's like a set in Norway, based loosely around the Vikings, and it's kind of area control and action card playing, but it's got loads of interesting nuances with it where you can build boats and that helps you get around, and you can exploit the land by knocking down trees, removing them. They get, so there's lots of different things you can do. You can build churches, you can build various different things, trading locations, and you can rescue your heirs, and that gives you special powers. And yeah, it's a really interesting game that isn't too gotcha and kind of contentious, but with enough in it to make it an interesting 2-player.
So meaty, but not too backstabbing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, I found it a really interesting puzzle because it's kind of one of those games where you play action cards until you want to return them all. So there's ways of getting extra action cards, but they're only one-offs, but then they form part of your VP condition. So it's kind of like you want to do maybe a worse action that gives you a better VP ending. So it's just quite an interesting game. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I think I managed to tweak Mark, but that was because I basically destroyed all of his boats and built loads more. So my maneuverability outdid his in the end. So, but yeah, it's a really fun game. I'd recommend it for anyone who likes, the theme, I suppose, being a Viking style game, and also likes an area control game without being too sort of screw you, stab you in the back type games like, Game of Thrones or something like that. Also played really well at 2, which I thought was quite unusual for an area control game as well. Normally you want 3 or 4, don't you? But
is it up to 4 or is it just 2 players?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe it says 4, 1 to 4.
Nice.
Yeah, 1 to 4. But yeah, I found it quite an interesting puzzle, and kind of, some midway through the game, Mark was kind of taking over. I was like, oh no, I'm going to lose this. Like, I can't lose this. And then just one little swing, that says a lot about my brother. We're going to talk about that.
I must destroy him.
In the theme for the episode, I've got a bit about that. But yeah, I was like, oh, I can't lose this. And then it's just one little swinging battle, just tipped it totally the other way. And then I started to, it just snowballs. And I just thought it's, there's a lot in there for quite a small game. And it only took us a couple of hours to get through the whole thing, but it felt quite chainy, quite satisfying, building towards something. And I quite like the playing action cards out of your hand where you've got one strong thing and one less strong thing, and you've kind of got to work out whether it's better to go for like the instant kind of better action or the thing that's going to benefit you more long term. I thought they did that quite well in it. And then I always like games where you kind of got to decide when to take the cards back to your hand, a little bit like Concordia, not like Concordia, but like in that aspect.
Yeah, even like Century and stuff like that has got that mechanism in it where you're trying to make the most of your hand and then
Obsession.
yeah,
Similar
draw
to
it all
Obsession.
back.
Yeah, being as efficient as possible and then knowing when to go, no, I'm done. I need to get my cards back to make it more efficient. So, yeah, a really interesting game. I've not really played many games like that. It helped that you had the deluxe version as well. So it was quite nice to have all the proper plastic and like, you know, the proper really good components. And but yeah, I'd recommend it anyone giving it a go. I think it's either kickstarted or it's been recently. Like, you know, I'm not plugging it or anything. I just quite enjoyed my play of it. So if it is still available, you might want to have a little look if you're into that style of game.
Nice.
And you said, so the cards were multi-purpose. So you could either play them as a one-off and get VP, or play them down and get a longer-term effect. Was that the?
Yeah. So basically, that was what. So you've got four generic action cards,
right?
And they're more like do this thing, do that thing, and it's both instantaneous and they're both different strengths depending on what you're doing. But it's more the fact of whenever you get one of your heirs, which is gained by going around the places and going to the castles. Whenever you claim one of your heirs, you get to basically not draft. You get to draw from the deck 2 different bonus cards.
Okay.
And then you get to choose which one you want to keep. Now, that is where you've got your choice, where you've got like different colours and different ways. So like if you take a red one, your red income gets a little bit better, but then it might, gain you more VPs at the end of the game, but then the action might be a bit worse than what you want.
Yeah.
But they're one-offs. So you play them as quite good cards, and then they go into your VP engine at the end of the game. So it's more those. The basic action cards are kind of like a little bit like, they help you either go up hills or go on a long stretch of land, like even bit of ground better. So there's just like different purposes for them, but the one-offs there, that's where it kind of, you're trying to balance between the 2 different things you want. And I like that element to it.
Yeah, sounds like there's good decision-making space in it.
Yeah, definitely. For what is quite, it's not an easy game. It wasn't like, I would say you probably put it around 3.5, something like that. But it played pretty quick, but that felt like there was more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good combo, right?
Yeah. As long as you like area control games, which I know you're not the biggest fan of.
No, but like I liked Rurik.
Yeah.
I like that. And I don't mind the odd one, but it have to be a certain type or do a certain thing. But yeah, it's got me intrigued as well.
Yeah, I think it sat in its corner well, put it that way.
Yeah, good.
Nice.
What have you been up to then, mate?
I've been playing Twilight Imperium 4 with Curlington as well. And we incorporated the brand new Thunder's Edge expansion, which I've been dying to play since I've had it on the shelf since, I think it was November when it was delivered. Thunder's Edge, we could talk about TI4 forever, but I mean, like, if you don't know what Twilight Imperium 4 is and you've been listening to this podcast, where have you been? But TI4 has been around since 2017. It's basically a space opera game in a box. Thunder's Edge adds additional new mechanics, like all TI4 expansions do. Thunder's Edge specifically is a planet that comes into play after people have contributed to an expedition. When people contribute to an expedition, they get a breakthrough card, which gives them synergy for their technologies, which basically means that 2 technologies become one, as it were. So if you've got red and yellow, then red, if you need a yellow one, you can use a red one and vice versa. But once you've got the breakthrough, you have to roll a die. Anyone who rolls a 1 or a 10, then the fracture comes into play. And the fracture is an additional 3 boards that come on the side of the systems. It doesn't make them adjacent, but it basically gives you like an epic new part of the galaxy that you can go to, where every planet there gives you a relic, which is really powerful in the main game anyway. But you can go to these planets and gain relics, and they give you extra special powers because they're also legendary planets. Basically, it's an awesome high risk, high reward area that the game gives you. With all expansions of TI, you're going to expect more factions, and there are more factions, which we got to play with, didn't we, Kerley? Well, you didn't.
Some of us did.
You didn't, but the rest of the players did. You went good old Muat, didn't you?
Yes, I did, yeah. No, the factions that you drew me, thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Looked like a load of rubbish, including the only bad new faction, I read all their rules, and it just seemed like it was way too not too complicated for me to understand because I played TI loads, but way too fiddly. I would say would be my.
Well, just the fact that you're changing faction map and changing all components kind of halfway through.
Exactly. Yeah. It just seemed a bit too fiddly for me, and without putting too fine a point on it, because I don't put everything on it, but the internet was just absolutely bitching about that faction being by far the worst.
I didn't know that before your draw.
Oh, this sound horrendous. I didn't like the look of it. It looked too fiddly. And then to have everyone else's opinion say not only too fiddly, but they just don't work. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to waste my my weekend, thanks. So I'm going to play a different faction. So
we took about 7.5 hours, I think. To play that.
7.5 hours, but it was a pretty chill start, to be fair.
Yeah, it started pretty chill, and then it started to ramp up once we kind of got halfway down the scoreboard. But what I liked about the game the most is that all 5 of us, because we were playing a 5-player game, that all 5 of us were kind of in contention throughout the whole game. Well, not the whole game, but definitely from. Dan? Well, I was in the lead for probably the first 2/3 of the game, but then that happens in every TI game I play because I always get off to a really good start. And then it just fizzles out.
I'm just wondering why you didn't get wiped out about it.
You did me a solid, didn't you? Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want me to talk about.
His little ass.
You saved my little bot by dropping your supernova ability from Muat and killing someone else on the boards. Pretty much a whole fleet until they were down to not much. But they managed to rebuild up pretty quick. But you did do me a solid. So for that. Thank you, love.
And I gifted you War Sons as well.
You did.
It was your birthday. So
it was,
come on.
It was my birthday game. And I got the War Sons on the board, but I didn't actually use them. But they were a good deterrent. They were a good deterrent. But we had good fun, didn't we? I had a great time.
Yeah, you all sounded like you had lots of fun.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I only play Twilight Imperium once or twice a year, and I never really kind of put it in a top 10 list because it's kind of that special game. But I do love playing it, and it takes forever, but I do love it.
It's in my gaming regrets as well, so I'm going to talk about that later.
I think mine is as well, actually. So it's in mine as well. So it'll be interesting to know what yours is and mine is. But yeah, TI4. If you've not played it, what are you doing? Just give it. You got to give it. You need to give it a go at least once.
No, it's not for you. I don't need to give it a go.
It isn't for you.
No, I hate
it,
and it's 8 hours long.
Yeah, it isn't for you. But I think if you like the theme and you like area control and you like really kind of heavy games, then it's one to try at least once. I mean, the BGG difficulty rating on it now is now 4.44.
Wow.
With that added expansion.
Okay.
And I think that's probably the highest I think I've ever played.
But then it's difficult for us to gauge it because actually we've been drip fed the complexity over the course of the original. Like we played TI3 ever so briefly, like once or twice.
I played it a lot,
then TI4 came out, but then we've had the expansions little by little by little.
Yes.
I don't think it's as difficult for us.
I think that first expansion added enough to kind of take it to the high 3s, early 4s at least. I can imagine if you're adding this in on top of it, I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but
you can, and I mean, I've been playing TI for so long, but if I was sat at the table and someone gave me the game as it was and didn't tell me it was an expansion, but just added it in anyway, I think I'd just be overwhelmed anyway because there's just so much going on, and it is the sort of game that kind of teaches you like you need to learn how to walk again, because there's so much going on. So, but even if you didn't have those extra elements in there, would it make a difference?
No. Well, again, it's basically £300 a game if you have the base and the 2 expansions.
Yeah.
So the likelihood is if a brand new gaming group is trying it for the first time, probably just bought the first one, they're borrowing someone's copy, and therefore, if they're all new around the table, likelihood is someone would just show them the base alone anyway, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
But in fairness, I think the expansions add a lot, but I wouldn't bother buying it if I was new to the game. I'd just play the base game offers so much.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
But it's only really for when you've played the base game a lot and you just want a little bit more variety.
Yeah, I'd agree with. Certainly for the first expansion, I'd agree with that.
Great game, T. I love it. Should we go on to the main event?
Yeah, we'd have to at some point.
Let's do it. Okay, so today we are talking about gaming regrets, the confessional booth of the tabletop world. We look back at the games we sold too soon, backed too late, taught badly, ruled wrong, or defended for longer than we should have. Expect some questionable decisions here, emotional damage, and at least one host realising that they were the problem all along. I've got a list of gaming regrets here. I don't know how many you've got, but I've got quite a few. But I thought we would loosely go around the table, starting with someone and going clockwise. There doesn't have to be an agenda. There doesn't have to be a subject. We can just go round and keep going. I can do regrets all day. Me and Adrian, we've been in this hobby a long time. We've got a lot. Speaking of which, Adrian, let's start with you.
Oh, start with me. All right, okay. Well, one of my gaming regrets is showing people new games.
I don't know what you were going to say then for a minute.
Or just generally?
Showing people my...
Not generally. The specifics I was going to go into here is when you show someone a new game because you think that you'll all like it, and then during the playthrough I realise I don't like it and everyone else has fallen in love with it, and now that's all they want to play. Or I've already played it a lot and I show it to people and they go, oh, this is great. And I'm thinking, oh, yeah. So two examples. The first two examples that really come to mind are Far Away, which I've now shown. I think I've taught this game at least 30 times. I'm going to guess I've played it 50, 60, 70 times in person.
That's a lot.
Because I really enjoyed it to start with, and I thought it's doing something different, but it's easy to teach. You're going to play it a couple of times, probably. Great, and then people are going to kind of remember the rules, so we'll come back to it. And for the first 3 or 4 months of that game, I was absolutely in love with it and had to show it to everyone. Like, what is it, 2 years later? And I am so done. But certain people, when they turn up and are like, let's play a game, and I'm like, great, we've got all of these, and they're like, Far Away, and I'm like, yeah, sure, game's 67 or 68 or whatever it'll be, like, let's just do that. And then the other one was Architects of the West Kingdom. A friend was like, what do I play? What do I buy? I want to buy a new game. And I was like, well, you have lots of people round quite often. So Architects of the West Kingdom is a Euro game that you can play with, I think 5 and 6, depending upon the expansions you've got and stuff like that. So it's a bigger player count. It plays well at those bigger player counts. I think people will enjoy it. And I already played it a couple of times at this point, and I played like 2 more games and I was like, I don't like this game at all. But it was one of the few games they have that's like a Euro game, and quite a few of my sort of other group like it, and therefore it comes out onto the table quite a lot, and I just don't get on with it. But I'm now forced to play it, so I regret showing them those games. But there are a few others like that, but they're the 2 that always stick at the front of my mind, where I'm just like, oh, I wish I hadn't shown you those. Generally, I love showing people new games, and because I normally have fallen in love with them first, I know that it's probably going to be all right. But Far Away, because you can just play it quickly, and I've now played it a bunch of times.
Teach you in your sleep.
Yeah, and it's a quick game, so you can play 2, 3, 4 games back to back, and now people request it all the time. And I'm like, there's a similar game that's like this.
No,
and they're like, no, I want to play Far Away again. And you're like, oh, please.
Nice.
And then, as I say, just occasionally I play a game. I suggest games because they fulfill a criteria, not because I'm in love with them. And then quite often we play them a few times and I'm like, I am done, but they still want to keep investing. Which is fair enough. I'll play it. It's not a problem. But sometimes I do regret that choice.
Nice. Bex, hit me.
Well, one regret I look back on is that absolutely god-awful teach of Flamecraft on...
Yes, Ed.
Oh, my God.
What time of day was it?
It was like 3 a.m. or something.
You are forgiven.
Yeah, no,
it was 3 a.m.
Yeah, there are mitigating circumstances. But I'd forgotten that I'd even written myself a script of how to teach this game. And I'm really glad I did, because if I hadn't have written that, I would have just... I just would have been just out of my... It's a really simple game, super simple.
But anything at 3 a.m.
Sure, but I used to do night shifts. I was
but you've been going all day.
Vaguely, yeah, but it was still terrible. And it was broadcast. It's out there, people. If you want to watch it and go, Christ alive, she's terrible. Please go ahead and watch this teach and play through. But dear God, it was awful.
I forgot. I again, my memory's always a bit hazy on these things, especially of that day, because where I was running the thing, so my mind is divided. But I remember popping up and seeing you in there on a couple of times, and I think I could see into your soul.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, bearing in mind that showing people how to do things is part of my job, I did not do a good job of showing people how to do things with this. I mean, I know showing people how to do things at work does not normally entail like dragons and things. That isn't part of my daily.
It did.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, if anybody wants to watch this horrific teach.
It's on the internet.
It's on the internet.
The upside, it was so bad, probably no one recorded it.
No, well, yeah, no one have done a screen grab of it because it's just awful. It's so bad, and bless them, everybody was really good about it. Fortunately, they were all pretty good gamers. If I'd been teaching new people, they would not have had a good time because it was terrible, just terrible. So that's. Yeah, do I regret it? Would I go back in time and do something different? Oh, it was 3 a.m. What else can you do? You know,
What can you do?
But
not agree to do it.
Not agree to do it in the first place. Probably wouldn't.
Yeah, that probably would. Yeah.
Or play a game, teach a game that I've played more than once, probably. So it was a bit more sort of muscle memory.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
far away.
Well, I've played that one time. I don't think I'll try and teach that, but I just get Adrian to do it because apparently he really likes far away.
Yeah, he really
so
likes it. So
to do that. Yeah, so maybe I should have played it more to prepare myself. So that is a lesson for next time. But I've taught other games I've only played once, and that's been okay. But it wasn't at 3 a.m.
Well, no.
So yes, that is something I have learnt.
Rest assured that the 24-hour board game marathon, for now, is asleep.
Paused.
Kerley, give us a gaming regret.
Just one?
To start with, you have many.
Yeah, I've got lots.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had a little think about it, and I've got absolutely tons. So I'll limit it down. I've got one big subject for Kickstarter, by the way.
Kickstarter's on my list as well. I've been more specific,
probably,
but
yeah, we'll talk about that, I guess, as a group. But okay, so we'll start off with one. My ones fit into 2 generic categories. Okay, it's games that I've bought and backed and all that kind of stint, and there's also behavior. Yeah. Right, generally. So I'm going to talk about behaviour because it's a funny one. I regret having a near tantrum at the start of a TI game once because I got a bad draw of planets.
Was that last week?
No, it wasn't last week. No, Jesus.
Because you were all right. So you were fine.
No, that was low level. I think it was just the prospect. I'll tell you what it was, and this is not to forgive it because I wasn't really bad, but I was salty for sure. Right?
I love how you identify that you were.
Yeah. It wasn't my finest moment. It was just the prospect of sitting down for 5 to 6 hours with the worst planet draft I've ever seen in my life, and the worst layout of planets around your home system in TI. So, like, literally, I literally had no chance from the start, and that was just the thought of having to sit there for the next 5 to 6 hours, knowing that luck / other people making fucking stupid decisions to screw me over rather than benefit themselves. It really pissed me off at the time, and I'm angry thinking, no, I'm not really. But no, so probably not that I'm surprised I reacted that way, but more that I do regret that.
Do you know how many planets you had like around your immediate system?
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3. 2 or 3.
Okay.
Like that sort of level, and then none outside of that.
Yeah.
So that was my first ever game of TI.
Yeah.
I was the Chaka, who don't like to move much anyway, and they literally got 2 planets and then a whole void of space and loads of asteroids and stuff.
Yeah, that was exactly what.
And it was just like, well, what am I going to do for the rest of this game?
Yeah.
So I can fully appreciate that because I sat there going, I'm really excited to play this for the first time, and then just sat there going, what am I going to do? Like within 20 minutes, like what am I going to do?
That's a good gaming regret, though.
Yeah, just to summarise.
Yeah, salty man.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, in fairness, I don't know many people who haven't had a salty moment similar to that. I think JP had one for TI. Like Martin, bless him, Martin Ward had a one on Civilization New Dawn. There you go. That's one of my many gaming regrets.
Go on, Dan. What's one of yours then?
Purchasing the Wingspan nesting box.
Oh, but it's so beautiful.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Enough, dear.
I
but this is exactly it, right?
It stops it from being taken anywhere else outside your house, doesn't it?
And that's the reason why I get annoyed with it. So, Wingspan, I'm that invested, although I haven't bought the new expansion yet.
When is it out?
Retail drop is like next month, I think.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
But obviously, if you went through Stone Mars or you're a Stone Mars champion, then you would have got it already. I did have that subscription, but I cancelled it. When I place an order for it, I'll probably get that, and I'll get a load of Rolling Realm ones I'm missing as well. but I just haven't gone around to it yet. But you can't get it. You can't get it out of the house.
No.
It's so big. It's bigger than Anachrony's big box. It's massive, and because of that reason, like. My wife doesn't play too many games anymore, but Wingspan is one that she likes to play. But as a 2-player game, to try and get that downstairs and then out and then unpack it all from the box and set it all up for just an hour's game is a pain in the neck. They almost should have done like they did with Rolling Realms and included travel box. Now, I know a travel box for Rolling Realms is small because it's just a deck of cards and some pens. But if they had released something like that, and I always do give Stone My Games a bit of dirt when they release the box, which is empty, and they charge 60 quid for it. But if they did release something that you could take Wingspan as a travel set, I would be kind of up for that. And also flock mode is awful.
I've never done it. It just does not appeal at all.
And really that is one of my regrets, is Wingspan nesting box and the flock mode that is contained within it. I have played flock mode and I've taught it with new players playing flock mode, and I will never, ever do that again. Ever. It just doesn't work. And it's too fiddly and too complicated for new players. Don't get me wrong, I love Wingspan and it's a great game, and I like birds. But that nesting box, unfortunately, has tainted the experience for me now, where I just don't get it to the table because I can't be asked.
But it's so beautiful.
But
it's
it is
so
beautiful.
well designed.
It is
so well made. It's basically it's a kind of a product of its own beauty. I can't think of the words, but you know what I mean. Like when something is so good, it ruins everything.
It pisses all over the side box when they brought that out, which came with some flimsy tuck boxes inside, and everyone whinged. And I think they probably learned from that and went, "Oh, do you know what? Let's do a proper
quality,
and it is
quality, beautiful.
Yeah,
bit of kit.
and it was. I got the first print run, and it's a great. It's a great box. It's a great storage device for all the content.
Yeah.
Nucleum needs something like that when they finally bring it out, but Nucleum takes 3 hours to play. And I can justify bringing that downstairs for a 3-hour game. Yeah. For Wingspan, well, me and the wife, we used to play it a lot, and we could get a game of Wingspan done in 45 minutes, if not less. So to just play a game for 45 minutes, you could easily say, "Oh, let's play a game," but it doesn't normally happen in my household. Unfortunately, it's a one and done. So yeah, it is beautiful. Can't dispute that. But it doesn't get to my table because of that, and I regret the purchase of it because of that reason. Because I just don't play the game as much anymore. Adrian, back to you, my friend.
So one of my gaming regrets is buying a game that somebody else in the group normally buys either shortly afterwards or exactly the same time, which means that my game sits unplayed on a shelf. So like the two that again come to mind. So I backed Apex Legends, and then JP was like, "I've backed Apex Legends," and then my Apex Legends is sat on a shelf. And that's it.
I bought it too, and I sold it.
Yeah, so mine still sits there. But yeah, it was a bit like, okay. And then I bought Kanban secondhand, and then EV, yeah. And then about 2 weeks later, found out that JP had added it to his Speakeasy pledge.
Did he? I didn't realise.
So, and it's just arrived before I've got mine to the table. So that will now just sit there doing nothing.
It's JP's fault.
If you ever look to sell it, let me know.
Well, we did it with, I think it was Weather Machine or something like that as well, where I bought that and then someone else bought a copy of it. And years and years ago, I bought Game of Thrones. We'd popped it all out, hadn't got it to the table. Next week, found out that my friend had bought a copy, and then we played that copy, and my Game of Thrones games never got played.
Do you still have it?
No, I sold it.
Sold it.
Because in the end, it turned out about 6 people I knew all had the Game of Thrones board game because it's quite popular. But I feel like I do it more than other people, where I just buy a copy of a game and then it never gets played because other people buy it and it just sits on the shelf.
No, I don't have that.
Because I enjoy it, I don't want to sell it in case someone else sells it or something like that. So it just sits there.
That.
I'm pretty good at like moving on games, but yeah, there's a few games that I've bought that then other people have bought, so my copy never gets played. It just sits on the shelf looking pretty.
I've got a weird version of that where 3 of my 3 favourite games, I don't own any of them.
Yeah.
Because JP's
Anachrony.
got them all. Anachrony.
I've got it.
Tricarion.
I've got it.
And I was trying to think of my next. Well, it'd probably be TM. So TM's the only one.
I got it.
The only one I've got. But my top 2 I don't own and probably never will.
I think JP's got an acronym into Korean, but doesn't have TM.
There's a common theme.
Yeah.
It's just JP. JP owns the games you like.
JP owns
the thing.
all
So
the games.
And he also does the thing where if he likes a game, he buys it quite quickly, quite often. So even if
'Cause
you've
he's
got a
loaded,
copy of
mate.
it, so he'll just go out there and buy a copy, even though the group's got it. So quite often you then go, oh, okay, well,
I understand that.
We play 50% of our time at JP's at least, so therefore...
If I like the game, I want to own it because I want to own it on my terms. I want to play it on my terms. And I know that's how he feels about it too. So I totally understand that.
I used to be like that a lot. And before I met you guys and came to the pod, my gaming group, I was the person that bought all the games because I had this weird ownership issue that I needed to have them.
Is that where sort of the big baby of board gaming came from?
No, that's just you.
That's you.
That's just
Yeah.
you.
That mentality, not the name.
That's what I call you. I'm just wondering where that behaviour came from that made me call you that. Was that part of it?
No, it's the fact that I just like being yellow.
Okay. To the point of a tantrum. Maybe that should be one of your regrets. Having a tantrum over not getting yellow.
That's probably a regret that I have to pick yellow and I can't get out of picking yellow. Or if I can't have yellow, I'll have a different shade,
It is
like
funny.
tan or orange.
But the stupid
and if I
thing
can't have
is,
that, it's red.
I don't even like yellow. I'm only yellow because everybody else that I play with.
Yeah, you're the only person
Which
that
was
has yellow.
my reason for playing yellow as well, was because no one else wanted to play it. So,
It has to be yellow or nothing.
and now half of our gaming group are used to playing yellow.
But
so
if I
we
don't,
fight over
and,
it
but if
more.
I don't mind not playing yellow, but I just know I'm going to start moving the yellow pieces if I'm not yellow because I'm just so used to playing yellow.
I'm the same unless it's something that's faction specific, like again with TI, then that's okay. But if it's not, and it just
I just remember that you got the speaking of that nickname I gave you, which is probably unfair, by the way.
Thanks.
But the reason why you got it is because I turned up to your house once and you'd given yourself the colour, you'd given yourself the seat position and wouldn't sort of randomise it between everyone, and you said you were going first. So I was like, what? And then ever since then, you've been the big baby of
my late grandfather. That was his armchair. It was his ass groove in the seat. It was his remotes. It was his telly. That's how he was. And when we play Mario Kart, I am player one. That's just how it goes.
That's different to going first in every game you play.
When we play Super Mario Bros, I am Mario.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
When we play any kind of video game that has Mario as a character in it, I will always be Mario.
You are always Wario when you play those. So
yeah, it's only because no one wants them. Because I like the evil guy. I'm a born Slytherin. Becky won't have it.
you're not a Slytherin. I won't have it. It's just not true.
No.
You might have got Slytherin nuances, but you're a Gryffindor. You're a reluctant Gryffindor, but you're a Gryffindor. Nice. It's just how it is.
I'm a Wario. I'm gonna win.
Nice. Was that you wrapped up?
Yeah, it turned into a bit of a rag on JP. It wasn't that. It was more just
JP buying all our games.
It was more just that I don't like buying games to find out someone else who's bought it, and we're probably going to play their version more than mine, and therefore I feel like I've wasted a purchase, even though I do still want the game, and it annoys me.
I get that. Becky, give us another.
Well, it's it's sort of a regret, and it's sort of something I'm not going to change at all. So how much
Regret
is it?
she doesn't really regret.
No.
Well, I do regret it, but it's just a part of my personality. It's just tough shit, and that's how it is. I wish I didn't have to go all in to get the big version, the big shiny version. Of something.
This is a good conversation starter. This one
because I know it isn't necessary.
It's not, but it's shiny.
Yeah, but having all the various modules of something, if I like how the game is, what I actually don't want to do is change how the game works. So sometimes adding a little module on the side is okay, but if it changes the game massively, I'm not going to like it. I know, sort of, it's a bit of an autistic trait, I guess, but my brain's set up to know that Cubitos is how you play with the base cards, and I know you've got how many more is there? 5?
Yeah, at least,
of each different power, so you can have 5 different things that each colour dice does. I don't want to play with the others because I know how the first ones work now. I don't want to learn the others. I don't want to do it. I don't want to know.
Quacks and the recipe.
Yes,
exactly.
It's exactly like that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't want my brain is geared up. This is how it is now.
I get that with quacks, as you mentioned quacks, because I quite like the way that these work.
No,
so
I don't want to
I want to change it.
So I feel like I'm not getting the most out of the game because there's all this variety. I don't want variety. I want
Clean cut.
Clean cut. I want something I already know. I don't want any horrible surprises. I know how it works. I don't want to change it, and I like how it is. So leave it alone, please. So getting all the kind of fancy, I don't mind the sexy components. I'm okay with that because I'm always going to pick the shiny bits.
Bling.
Yeah. But when a game's got variety, I tell myself, oh, but this is great. It's got all this variety. I don't want variety. I want predictability.
So just don't back the expansions.
Yeah, but you can't. I'm a completist. That's my trouble.
Yeah.
So I've managed to get rid of Barron Park 2. The Return of the Bear and Bad News Bears.
Return of the Bears.
I did sell that and I never played it. I popped it out when I constructed the little towers. I don't want it to change the game because Barron Park is Barron Park, but I don't need it to do something different.
What if someone teaches you the intro version of a game of which you really like, you then buy a copy, notice that it was the intro version and the full version adds this extra mechanic, what would you do then?
Well, that's interesting because basically that's my Septima journey. So I first
that's on
the
my
game,
list as well.
Learned is that your regret?
Oh, yeah.
So they tell you, and I am a rule follower sometimes, but the book says do the base one first. So I did what I was told and did the base one first. But I think it doesn't, the alternate side of the map, the other version of the map, doesn't change how things play. It just adds another layer of, it's like a sidebar. You've got another thing to do or not to do. So it doesn't change how it plays. However, if I'd have learnt, say, Cubitos with the different cards, it doesn't have to be maybe the first version, but the version I learned first. So if something changes it up, I need to learn that first. Like, put all the stuff in together, and that's how it is in my brain now. That's fine. Like Terraforming Mars with the preludes and stuff. Because that's how it is in my brain now. I don't need to, but that's why I bristled against Marine Worlds in Ark Nova. It changes it. It's a whole new, variant, and I'm not interested. My brain likes this variant, and I don't want to change it. Yeah,
I understand it. Fair. Kerley, give us another.
Okay, well, I'll give you 2 for 1.
Nice.
Because they're quite similar. I'll just briefly gloss over one. I really regret kickstarting and trying to play Europa Universalis.
Yeah,
that box was
oh my
freaking
God.
monster, wasn't
Such
it?
a big box.
I looked at the kind of the AI element of what you do in what turn orders and stuff. I'm like, nah, that's not for me. Like, it's one of those where you open up the box and you start to read the rules and you're like, nah, this is too much for me. The complexity of that fucking game, my God.
We had it in the board game marathon as a raffle prize.
Yeah.
I was going to rig it so that you won it.
Mate, I'd have taken it. I'd have put it straight on eBay. Fucking get in.
Yeah, true.
You did sell it pretty quickly for quite a good price, as I
Oh,
remember.
yeah. I sold it for a profit, if anything.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big regret. Like, oh my God, I'm saddled with this thing.
No.
But my God, attempting to buy it. Because you like the game, you like a strategy game, all this kind of stuff. It equaled, I would like it, but just there's some proper flipping guys made that. Jesus.
It's the graphs and charts and
it was just beyond my interest. But it's like, and I'm not knocking people, but like it's more for those people who like playing like those big epic like military campaign
like War
style
Machine,
games.
kind of War Machine.
And I'm not knocking it. It's just more than I'm interested in. I just like a more casual entry level to any strategy game.
Yeah.
I want to be one and done, 3 hours, 4 hours kind of thing.
I'd like to see it and do it. I don't want to have to work out charts on and stick one of those visors on to try and work out those accountancy visors.
I think it got to a point where people who have played it will understand this, where I couldn't even properly declare war. I needed to have a reason for it first. So you've got to try and
have you played the PC game?
Briefly, yeah. It's not. I'm more of a Civ guy personally.
Yeah, so
than Europa Universalis, but I had a brief stint into it, and I just don't think it's as much my sort of thing. So I regret buying that on a whim, really, thinking I'm probably going to like this, and I really didn't. Not that it's a bad game; it's gone down really well with the community. But it's just too much for me. Or not too much, but way beyond my interest level. But I'm going to put that with, and this is slightly controversial, Frosthaven. similar sort of thing. So with Frosthaven, I absolutely loved Gloomhaven. One of my favourite games. I got to the point where I was playing 2 simultaneous campaigns with 2 different groups. So I love Gloomhaven. Frosthaven, way too much in it. So the extra phases in the town, upgrading the town, all that stuff, not interested.
Did you buy Frosthaven?
Bought Frosthaven. The box was it got to the point where it took nearly an hour to set up every time, and like 40 minutes to break down. And at the time we weren't really leaving it out because we were gaming in between, so doing that hour and 40 minutes, and then the scenario you'd spend sort of best part of 3/4 of an hour with your head in your butt working out what town actions you were going to take in between doing the actual it check out at that point. So
you know that TI took an hour and 45 minutes to set up when we were at yours the other day.
Only because we were fucking about. That's what I meant when I said a casual chill start, because we should have done it a lot fucking quicker than that.
God, yeah.
It's and even then TI is a little bit different because it's a big long sort of weekend style game.
Yeah, not a 2 hour.
Frosthaven is like, to do one scenario, it's like 2 or 3 hours at tops, unless you sort of throw a few together, there's no point, it just takes too long. But yeah, just not for me. I know some people love it and like the added complexity, but for me it went to a place that turned me off of it.
Okay, my second one, MegaCiv, Mega Civilization, buying it twice and selling it twice. This is my regret. So I had
How many times playing it?
once.
Oh, yeah.
Good question. Good question.
I like that.
No, actually, that's a lie. That's a lie. Twice.
Okay.
Twice. It was twice. But good question. So when I first had Mega Civilization, when it first came out, Civilization has been around for a long time. But the Mega Civ version is a 5 to 18 player board game. Where the board, if you're playing it at full player count, is, this table is a good sized board gaming table that we're sat around right now. But the board is probably about 3 times as big as this table.
Who's got the time, space, or...
So
crap.
People who play MegaCiv games.
Yeah. I hired out a pub as function room to play this, and I had 17 players. I did it. We played it. 4 people decided that it was a good idea to cheat, and that made me salty. So that's probably my biggest salting gaming moment, is that when I found out that 4 people had cheated their way through.
Blatantly? Or?
Not blatantly to me, because I was running the game. It was only that others had discovered, and they were coming to me and telling me, this is happening, this is happening,
So they
this is
cheated
happening.
on purpose? They hadn't
Yeah, it was on.
accidentally-
Yes, it was on purpose. It was on purpose. And in the game, you can get calamities, which basically will ruin your civ, and it could be like drought, famine, floods. It could be weird things. But you're trying to trade these calamities with other people. So you're trading goods with other people in an open discussion. It's an open discussion time in the game that lasts for, I don't know, about 15, 20 minutes. And you all go round the table trying to trade as much resources. You go, I got 3 cotton, but I need another one, or whatever. But these calamities, you've got to try and you can trade some of them with other people, but some of them you can't trade. And some people were trading the ones you can't trade. Some people who know that they were actively losing would say, well, give me your calamities, I'll take them on, and you just take the goods. And king making as well. King making, I don't mind if you're doing that, so be it. But it was the blatant cheating. You're trading these cards and you're not allowed to do so. And also, some people were hiding calamities actually from plain view. And I discovered this at the end of the game. So this game we started at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and we were done by about 8 o'clock at night. So it was a long time. And I found out in the last kind of hour that these people were doing this, and I was very, very, very annoyed.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, and it took me weeks of planning to get this game to the table. We played it. That happened. I was very salty. I was so salty that I sold the game. So if a game, I always have this kind of rule set where if a game ever makes me really salty, I'll sell it. It's like, this is not for me. It's making me angry. I'll sell it. So I sold the game. This game came in a wooden chest.
Wow.
Have a look at it online if you get a chance. It is a thing of, it was a thing of beauty. So I sold it. I regretted that I sold it probably after about a year of selling it, because I knew that it was actually quite valuable. I did get what I paid for it, but I thought I should have kept it. Maybe I could have played it again. Then 999 Games, who made it, then decided to go, we're going to make it again, but they're going to make it Eastern and Western empires.
Yeah.
So they split the game into two, but then you can put the two
Buy
together.
them and put them together, yeah.
Yep, and make it Mega Empires, they called it. MegaCiv, but they changed the name. I bought both.
Yep.
Didn't play the game again and sold it again.
Nice.
And it cost me a fortune.
To be fair, I'm feeling the same about the War Room. I've played the War Room. I've not played the global campaign of the War Room yet.
Oh, I said War Machine earlier. I meant War Room.
Yeah.
War Room,
And yeah, War Machine's slightly different.
Yeah.
But the War Room is a game that I really want to play. I can't foresee when I'll actually get to play it.
I'd like to try it myself.
But if I sell it, I'll end up buying it again in the future. So
Yeah.
it's going to sit there. Probably not be ever played again, maybe.
Have you played it at all?
I have played the smaller scenarios, just
Yeah.
not the global one.
The global one, the big one, the big,
Which is the kind of the main point to have it, right?
Quite,
so so I've kind of have a similar feeling of that. Is I imagine if I would to sell that game, I would probably buy it back fairly quickly, and because in
was
my
not
head I
cheap.
want to play it still.
Yeah. So let's do one more quick round. Quick fire. Give me regrets, Adrian. Let's go.
I have quite vocally previously said I don't think I've ever regretted selling a game. And yet I now have an itch to buy a game back that I've sold before. So normally I'm quite happy to sell games, all good. And I think I've actually sort of downplayed this game quite a bit because it has its faults. But man, I want Batman Gotham City Chronicles back.
Always very bitty, that game.
Yeah, it says a load of symbology that they've now created little player aids for that wasn't in my version of the game. There was loads of rules where they were all identical, but they had so ice you could walk on if you had like ice hooks or whatever, ice picks or whatever. But that was exactly the same as another terrain feature that just simply had a different card to stop it. So rather than putting it all under one rule and saying, these are the ones that stop it, it was all completely explained differently in the rule book, as though they were completely different rules, and yet they weren't. And so it does have its problems, and it takes up with the expansions that I had 2 Kallax cubes, which at the time I only had about 8 or 10 to use, and therefore it was taking up a lot of space. And the timers on it are designed so that it's a puzzle. It's not really a dungeon crawler. It's a bit like Gloomhaven in the fact that it's more of a puzzle because you have to do things in exactly the right order, otherwise you run out of time. So it has problems with it, and yet keep having the itch to play it again. And no one in the group owns it, therefore I'd have to buy it back because I think there is a lovely side to it.
It's gorgeous to look at.
But just the gameplay, the way it plays is not like a lot of other games. There's a few bits and pieces out there in other games, but it's not quite the same as other sort of 1v many. It's not the same as an Imperial Assault or anything like that, which is 1v many kind of games. And yet there's something about it that I really want to get to the table again. And so I kind of have now. At the time I didn't regret it, and I haven't regretted it for probably 2 or 3 years, but now slightly wishing I still owned it. And so small regret.
Good one, that. Yeah. It's a very pretty game.
It's lovely.
Nice.
Yeah, anyway.
Thanks.
I think everybody that gets into gaming has had the same regret of when you very first get into it and you realise you love it, you just buy everything. Or as so many different games that are just like the hotness or the really good classics or whatever. And then you've got a whole bunch of games that you're probably going to play once or twice and realise, oh, actually, that's not the kind of game I like.
Same.
But you feel like you should like it.
Same.
Specifically, I'm going to say Spirit Bloody Island.
Do you still own it?
Yeah.
When did you last get that to the table? Because you bought
2
all the new
years
bits
ago.
like 2 UKGs ago because I was there.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't want to get rid of it because he really likes it. So there's not
I
much
think
point.
you like it. It just gives you a fucking meltdown.
I don't like it.
You did like it at the time.
I
Yes,
don't
you
like
did.
it. I just don't like it. I can only play the person with the speed. I've said this lots of times on the podcast, so this is boring, but I can only play that one character because it means I don't have to think about what the game state's going to. I don't like games like that.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. But I wanted to like it, and it looked all nice and all the rest of it. Oh, it's all kind of naturey and yeah, cool. I don't like games like that. So I wish I hadn't bought it. And other games, when you first get into gaming, like I said to start with, you think, oh, I'm going to get all of these, the good ones that everyone's talking about, either brand new hotnesses or the classics. And you realise actually there's games that you prefer and there's games types that you don't like.
I did that with UA. When I first got Agricola, when you're talking a long time ago, got Agricola, and like, what else does Rosenberg offer? And then it was just like, I'm going to have to get them all.
Yeah.
And I did. And then like, they just didn't play them or sell them. And it was just, and I wouldn't do that now. I've just sold my copy of Feast for Odin because it just doesn't get to the table. So I've kept Agricola and I've got Caverna. Patchwork doesn't really count, but it is his. And that is kind of about it. I just don't. But I had Le Havre. I had all of them.
It's almost, there's a bit of a completist element about it. Oh, I like that design, so I want all of those things. Or I'm just getting into this, so I want to be able to follow the conversation that everyone's having about certain games. And actually, I should have just done a bit more research into games that I like, or maybe figured out a bit earlier games that I like and games that I just don't, and just don't try and force the games you don't like.
As you say, though, I think all gamers go through that. Anyone who collects board games, they go through that exploration phase. Yeah. And while you might regret the money spent on it, looking outside in, I really enjoy watching people explore their gaming space, basically, and kind of, I'll try that. No, that's not for me. And I'll give this a go. And no, that's not for me. And I love outwardly watching other people go through that experience, because I think it's in any hobby, quite often it's such a key experience that you go through, that you kind of join a hobby, or it could be anything, and you'll kind of go, I'll try all these different things. And
no idea.
And basically, I don't like this. Okay, I've learned that, and then I don't like this, but I do love this, so I'll buy more of these. And I love watching people go through that.
If you don't have the impulsivity to just buy all the things, and then you realise, why did I spend that money? I should have just bought lots of this type, or so that's, yes, it's a first world problem. I was fortunate enough to be able to, basically I bought loads of them in the bring and buy in the UKG, no, pretty much. So if you didn't pair that with a reluctance to get rid of games, it's fine. when you have got a reluctance to get rid of games, and you're kind of you're lucky enough to have a bit of space, so space is not necessarily the kind of limiting factor. I just wish I didn't go so
ham.
So full in.
I think rather than it being a regret, I've kind of come to that kind of realization now that I don't need a collection of 200 plus games.
This is it.
And like you said, Adrian, about the exploration phase, I remember my own exploration phase, and I remember just going, I'm going to buy everything,
all of the games,
and I've done that, and I'm now on the other side of that. Now it took a while, but I'm now on the other side due to other factors other than kind of like knowing what I specifically want. Also, money, I couldn't afford it when I changed jobs, but now I can now afford it again, but I just don't want to.
You start thinking,
I know what I like,
a collection rather than just scattergunning just all the.
I've just sold about 30 games in the last month because I just need to shave that collection down, and now my collection is of more of a good size, because and I'm very selective now about what I buy, because I just don't need to buy everything anymore, and I know what I like. And I know what gets to the table.
But you don't get that unless you do the exploration phase.
You have to go through that phase.
You have to build up that experience, don't you, to know designers or mechanics, or just how to cut through the Kickstarter jargon and figure out what it is you want in a game. So you kind of watching videos, going on BGG, you have to build up those skill sets and that knowledge in order to get to the point where you then can.
It's like going on Kickstarter and just going, oh, look, it's a game about this. Read the first 3 sentences. No.
Yep.
Rather than go, well, I like the theme, and for that reason alone, I'll buy it. Or I like it because it's about this IP, so I'm going to buy it. No way. Don't do that anymore. Used to do it all the time.
Yep. Yeah. My first 4 Kickstarted board games all got sold within a year because they weren't right. I just, look, that's cool. That's about the plague. Then it's all cool artwork or whatever. I'll buy it. Read of the rule book, probably not going to play that. So, whereas now I know to have a look at the rule book, or to watch some videos or whatever it is to make better choices.
Absolutely.
I've been really lucky when it comes to Kickstarters. I don't think I've really backed a bad game yet, which is a very fortuitous.
Sorry, wasn't your last regret Europa Universalis?
Wait. Europa Universalis and Frosthaven, for that matter, are excellent games. They're just not my type of games. But I've been really I didn't do enough research into. Well, there's a whole bloody bunch. I mean, I could look at these ones here, but there's a whole bunch that I didn't do any research into, and I totally lucked out. Like Heroes of Might and Magic, that was a real luck box one. Mosaic, there was Rurik. I didn't really do much research into. I've got those Dwellings of Eldervale I bought, and not many people backed that at the time as well. And it's turned into a bit of a big hit this time. So, yeah, I've just been really lucky.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your final regret?
My final regret. My final regret is, again, we're going to have to rename this episode, by the way, into Twilight Imperium.
Yeah.
Because it's Twilight
I know, it's been a lot of TI chat. But it's all good.
It's not a long one, this one.
Have we done an episode of TI just on TI? You have done. We've done obviously Mind Clash specific.
I don't know.
Maybe
If we haven't.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we should.
That's an idea.
I mean, I will say that it probably switch off about half the people who normally regularly listen.
Maybe it's an expansion pack.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. So my regret is not playing 4-player earlier.
Yeah.
I played 6 to 8 players for the longest time, and I nearly fell out of love with it, actually. Took too long, too much contention, too long between turns, all of these different things, yeah. And it just, hey, look, it was still cool, nice to do every now and again, but it felt like one of those things you were just there to have a good time with your friends, which is cool in and of itself. But I think as a 4-player game, it's so much tighter, it feels so much more satisfying. You got a little bit more room to maneuver, you get 2 strategy cards, your turns come around quicker, and it doesn't really detract in any way, shape or form. So for me, it's just a better game at 4-player, and eclipsed it for a little while, and now 4-player has clawed its way back.
I agree with a good 90% of what you're saying. But there is that little part of me that would like to play TI4 with 8 and only do it once, because I've never done it. I've done 6 and less. Never do a 3. Never do a 3-player TI.
I love 3.
3-player TI?
Yeah, it was really good.
No, I'd never do a 3-player. Only because I find that if two gang up on one, and I'm not a big fan of that. In any game, it doesn't matter if it's TIs, any game. If it happens where there's 3 players and it's especially area control, where 2 can gang up on one, not keen.
That's
what
happened to me because you didn't do anything. So it's 3 against 1. It was
but it wasn't. It was a 4-player count. So it doesn't count.
Balls, you know?
Doesn't play. Was wrong player count. But I would like to do an 8 just to say I've done it just the once, and everyone needs to know what they're doing. I know you'd be out. For that.
Yeah, I was going to say as long as you don't count me in.
Yeah, but that now. I would find that hard to find 8 players who know, including myself, that would know what they're doing, who would be up for it. But 4-player, all day long, yes, absolutely.
Adrian's up for it.
No.
When was the last time you played TI?
Whenever the last expansion came out.
Not the one just gone.
The one just gone.
Yeah.
The one before that. And
that
was my last. I'd given it, at this point, I think it was 3 or 4 times I'd go on, then I'll give it another go. And was just at the end of each one, I was like, this just isn't, it's not for me. But it was where loads of people I wouldn't see often would turn up, like an old friend group would turn up and play a game. So I played it just to see them.
Yeah.
And then was like, I hate, not that I hate, but really dislike, hate's too strong a word, but really dislike playing this game. To the point where I said to them, next time, let's play Game of Thrones. And like 3 other people, I loved playing it because I like Game of Thrones much more, but 3 other players around the table all had a hissy fit about getting sort of practically knocked out halfway through the game. And I was like...
In Game of Thrones?
In Game of Thrones. But I was like, well, this is what happens in TI as well, so I don't know where you... But anyway, so yeah, no, I wouldn't play her.
Interesting. My final regret is the very first 2 board games that I purchased that got me into the hobby, I sold.
No, what were they?
Mark Monk has one, and he's still got it on the shelf. As I believe he did a little video on his TikTok channel about this game, and you own the other. So one of them is the Gears of War board game by FFG.
Oh,
Mark Monk owns that.
Nice.
And the second one is forgive me the year, is it 2011 or 2012? Civilization. Yeah. Those 2 games I regret selling. Especially Civ, because Civ is an all-dayer, but it's a cracking game.
It's 5 hours.
I mean, it's going to be a weekend game or a Friday night game, and you got a late session,
midnight plus.
Which I wouldn't mind. I've not played it in so long, and I got rid of it. I really shouldn't have done because it's a cracking game.
It is.
You have to play it with the expansions. You have to because it balances it out.
And they were very expensive.
They were. Yeah. I had the whole set, and I sold it, and I really shouldn't have done, as well as Gears of War, which goes for a lot of money now because it's massively out of print, especially the print and play demand expansion pack that they did. And it's a real shame that I sold them, but should not have done that. That's really stupid. But then, you can go back to when you were a kid and think all those wonderful Nintendo games that you had as a child, and if you had them boxed and kept them really, really nice and give it 20 years, they'd be worth a fortune.
Oh, yeah. So I had some Transformers toys from when I was a kid, and I had 3 of them in box, which were my less favourite Transformers. So they stayed in a box.
Yeah.
And the amount of money I got from them, and I looked at all my favourite Transformers that were out of box and battered and went, if only I hadn't had as much fun as a kid. They'd all still be in boxes and I'd be rich.
Oh, love that.
Just looked up the cost of Wisdom and Warfare, and it's tripled in price.
How much is it?
£160 is the cheapest I can see.
To be fair, I think that's pretty reasonable.
So, one expansion for Battlestar Galactica as well,
Similar.
Is it really?
No, it's 2 of them together. They go for about 75 to 100 each, the expansions.
Madness. And that concludes our gaming regrets. I enjoyed that, folks. I could have kept going for hours as I've got many, and I'm sure there'll be many more to come. Let's go on to the next bit. Right, folks, Connect 4. Let's do it. 4 cards coming out. I'm not going to shuffle them because you guys just did. And we're going to think of a game that utilizes all 4 of those cards that come out. Here we go. Manufacture/industry. Farming.
Tricky.
Yeah. As soon as that second card goes, oh, no. History.
Okay.
And
area control. Oh.
The closest I can think of, and I'm trying to struggle to get farming in there, is brass. Brass does a lot of elements of that. Area control.
Yes, area control's a bit loose for brass, but you are controlling specific areas within the map.
Yeah. Historic, definitely. Manufactured, definitely. Farming, I mean, they probably farmed the hops ready for the maybe.
Wow.
What about Scythe?
Yeah,
Scythe. I think
there's sort of vague farming.
Historic.
It's not historic, but it's kind of alternate reality.
History,
historic, isn't it? There is manufacture and industry in there, and it is about area control.
No, I think that's
it's the one I thought of.
I think you hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are farms in it. So although there isn't farming, there is a farm. So surely that's got to count. And
farm is one of the terrain types, isn't it?
Getting your workers to do it, it's just really loose. But
I don't like the game, so I don't really want to say it.
I remember teaching it to you.
We've got to get another Scythe in.
Yeah, I was thinking that earlier actually.
Wow, we really do.
But I like that at high play counts. 5 up.
I don't mind it.
But I wouldn't want to play it 2. But I would play it at 3 or higher.
Yeah, I think we're due another one.
But you're very good at Scythe.
I'm not that good at Scythe.
You're very good at Scythe.
If I'm being honest, I'm better at Tricarion and I'm better at...
You are good at Tricarion, yeah.
But Scythe is just one of them that you've got to time that end.
Yes.
You don't even have to have a good game. If you time the end well, you'll do very well.
Yes. So I'm up for... I'm sure JP will be up for a game of that. Yeah. I got a copy.
I know we talked about... Was it that he was talking about doing another Rise of Fenris campaign?
I never did the first one. I guess I did what some people like. Half people did take the contents of it and just split it all open rather than going through it in the story. I've never did a Fenris campaign, but I normally say as a rule that I wouldn't be up for a campaign game, but I would consider that if I had the time.
Busy, mate.
I had the time.
So other than Scythe, can we think of any others?
No, I think
you've nailed it. With that
Ascendancy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's bringing back some memories.
Yeah. So the Ascendancy 4X game or whatever it was called that we trialed. So that was fantasy historic.
Yeah, that's
kind
what
of
we
thing.
did with Paul Grogan. Wasn't it?
That's got area control and it has manufacturing stuff.
Farming?
but I'm not sure on the. I think loosely.
Yeah, I don't
farming
think
stuff
I don't think so.
on
It's
there.
not a bad shout, but I don't think it's as good as Scythe.
No. As say, Scythe, like Becky, like it was the first thing that came to mind when I saw all those come out. I was like, yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get. I think, because otherwise, it's 3s out of 4s.
Let us know on the old socials
Yeah,
if you
I
can
can-
think of any other games
Absolutely.
that meet all those 4. I don't know.
Yeah, I can definitely think of a few, like you said, the 3 out of 4, but 4 out of 4, I think is Scythe for me.
Yeah, it's area control. I think that's throwing it out because it then makes it like a map
Yeah.
based
game rather than.
It's the first one of 4 that I think I've ever thought of.
Very well done.
Smashed it, dear.
Smashed it.
I think me and Adrian had the same thought, but you
You got to it first.
If you've got any others, let us know on Discord.
I feel like I always do with these, I'll walk away and then go,
Yeah.
of course, totally forgot.
Nice. Let's move on, shall we? So now we're on our penultimate turn. So what have we got coming up, guys? What's around the corner? Bex, go with you first.
I recently made a list of all the things that I still haven't played, like my shelf of shame, basically. And there's some really like immediate, obvious ones that I just want to get to the table. Basically, some of the really basic ones, like I still haven't played Ganxion Clever, and I know that's such a oldie.
That's like a convention.
Yeah,
like,
this is it.
That's
This is it.
palate cleanser. That is.
Yeah. So, and a lot of them are really short, like Fake Artist Goes to New York. Basically, I went through BG Stats, the little sort of app that you can track all your games on, and I filtered it by owned but not played. And there was a massive list on there that made me a bit sad. Yeah. So one of them is Parks, Adrian, so I might need you to teach me that, please.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Is that the old, because they've done a second edition of that, haven't they?
Yes, he bought the second.
Stop mentioning it. She thinks I swindle. So I did say to her, right, there's a new edition coming out. I'm selling off my first edition. I'll buy it. And then since then, she's gone, well, I want the second edition now.
To be honest, that game is right up your street.
Yeah,
well,
I
I
used
think
to
so.
own it. The first
I think you'll love it.
first edition was really pretty.
First edition is much prettier. Second edition comes with some of the expansions
Yeah.
already in it, and I think it's
Nightfall
just
and-
slightly clearer.
And when
Yeah.
you told me that is what persuaded me to buy it, because A, it's prettier, and B, the expansions that you're not that bothered. So maybe I should just need to play it.
Pretty game.
So yeah, I'm looking to get some small games to the table that are quick to play, just so I can tick them off really. And I have got a little about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games that are in my games to ditch pile.
Ooh.
Yeah,
What are they?
We need to add a
so-
few more.
Colour Brain. Bought that. It's a big potato game.
It's an activity game.
Yeah,
it's an activity, isn't it?
And I think Block Party is still really good, and I like that. So I don't want to get rid of that. Harry Potter House Cup. Never played it. Watched a run through.
Yeah,
Looks just a bit simple.
it's a bit, yeah.
Lanterns Dice.
Okay.
Never ever played that.
It's supposed to be quite good.
Bought it from Joel yonks ago before we even actually knew Joel properly. Yeah, Venice. Need to get rid of that. But every time I take it to a bring and buy, there's about another 4 there. And Zombies with 3 exclamation marks.
Oh,
I forgot I even
that's
owned it.
Steve Jackson game, isn't it? Yeah,
yes, it is.
Yeah,
No.
I forgot I even owned it.
yeah,
So
that's old.
I don't think I'm going to be able to
It
sell
is
any of them
old.
for any actual money. So I might just, I don't know.
That game had 1 billion expansions.
It
Yeah,
did.
it
It
did,
did.
yeah.
And again, it's one of those where almost for historic purposes, it's probably worth giving a go.
Well, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
a roll and move, isn't it?
But it's
It is rolling move.
it's not great.
So what do you do with game? I guess I could donate them to gaming groups, which I'm more than happy to do. Maybe I just need to do that.
Donate them to a charity shop of which someone who's not a gamer would pick it up,
Yeah.
buy it, might like it, and go, "What other games of this type are there around?"
Maybe I should do that.
Or on the flip side of that, they could pick it up, realise that Becky's got a load of crap games, and then not get into board gaming because they were so crap.
That's not
There-
very nice.
there
is
is
it?
that is another flip of the
That's
coin.
not very nice.
However, I didn't see it as glass half empty.
no.
Just saying.
Here I am thinking about doing a nice thing for humanity, donating stuff to a charity.
Nice to have you around the table.
Kerley just poos all over it.
Burnham, yeah. Fuel.
We need to have a talk about flipping how much we play Everdell and Wingspan.
Oh, but we can't.
Everdell
get rid of
is a good, like,
those.
you have,
I
like, that, you got the big box.
We haven't
you?
got that to the table in about 18 months.
I sold mine, like, after expansion 1, because expansion 1 was meh.
Yeah, but they got
We
the big
still
box.
haven't played.
I know,
Second
I know they
expansion
have.
fixes it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know you
It's
sent it
way
me before.
better.
We haven't
Belfast.
played it.
You don't have to put
since
the tree out in the second expansion?
Behave
about the
yourself, you.
bloody tree.
Right?
So we haven't played. Is it Mistwood?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the new one, the
Mistwood.
standalone one came out. And
We haven't played
need
Far
to
Shore
play
either.
that.
Have you got the?
Yeah.
You've got the 2-player one. You've got a 2-player one now, haven't they?
Yeah.
I'd be
Everdell
tempted to get that
No,
for the wife and I. We might end up get smashing that.
I love it. I really like the game, but I just don't think enough others really like it for us to
Quite
warrant.
light.
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I
It's
think
not. It's midweight.
I
It's like
think
base game. I'm not sure what it is with the expansions I haven't played.
Still midweight, I reckon.
Do you think?
Maybe just lower than midweight. But
I mean,
think
we're
it's
not
still
talking
midweight.
about like. I love it, but even it's not as light as like Lords of Waterdeep or something. That's light to medium.
I think it's a bit more chewy than you want when you play a game like that. It's always a bit more efforty than I want to do if I've got Everdell out. If I want effort-wise, I'll play, I don't know, something that's a bit
TM.
more, yeah, maybe, yeah, or just something that's a
Art
bit
Nova or
more,
something,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe. I was trying not to say those two games. I was literally trying
I'm
to
not
think.
ashamed.
I was trying to think of another game. Quick,
I know
think
who
of
I am.
another game. Yeah, I just think that is. If I wanted something lighter but still cutesy, I'm going to play Nocturne
Yeah.
or
Cascadia or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they are lighter and cutesy, but yeah, they do what you want them to do. Whereas I think Everdell is just a little bit more complex than
Yeah.
I think I can be asked with if I want to play.
But those
again.
berries.
I really, really like
The
it. It's just
berries,
I don't think enough
yeah.
other people do. So
Yeah.
I think it might be one of them, a reluctant sale.
Get
possibly.
a good price for it though.
Yeah, same goes for Wingspan. Like, it just.
I'm
seems
never
that-
getting rid of that. I'm never getting rid of
I'm
it.
too invested in mine
It's
now.
too beautiful.
All right, well, we need to play it then. We need to put an event up for it or something because, frankly, it's
The look of sadness. Sorry. You'll have to play it then. No. You look genuinely disappointed that someone was going to push you to play that game.
I'll play it. I was thinking about the idea of parting with it, and that's just I don't want to. I
Parting
could
is
never
such
play
sweet
that
sorrow.
again, and I don't want to sell it. I know, it makes no sense.
I'm going to get the new expansion soon, and then I will probably put a
Yes.
game up.
Yeah,
So
that's still not us playing ours.
Still
is
not
it?
us playing our
it's
copy. Dan.
still not. But if you want to scratch that itch
Yeah.
without playing your
Yeah.
copy, you'll be able to.
Yeah.
Kerley, what have you got coming up?
It's a bit quiet actually coming up. I've been not taking a bit of a break, but we've had a few conventions lately, and so coming up, I've just got a regular Elder Scrolls game. So Elder Scrolls.
You and Rob in
Betrayal
it?
of the first area. No, it's me and Tambo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're trying to. We would have had Rob because Rob knows how to play and everything else, so it wouldn't have been too bad. But we wanted to keep it a low player count. So we're playing 2-player. Yeah, really enjoying it, and we got another game tomorrow, which is cool.
Nice.
So we're going to play that. Other than that, just from massive change, I'm going to go and play Art Nova with Jack.
Yes.
With Jack and Cole,
Nice.
so who I haven't seen for we
week.
haven't chilled out together for a while, so that's nice.
A week.
So, but that was a big campaign
That
Twilight
was.
Imperium game.
That was.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't really count. But
Nice.
we decided to play a game of Art Nova. We used to play it a lot more regularly. believe it or
Yeah, we
not.
did. Yeah, we
So
did.
yeah, I'm going to get another game in with them on Wednesday. So looking forward to that as well. So
Nice.
yeah, those are the two things I'm looking forward to. Other than that, I've got to put some games up in Aftergame basically, which I was planning on doing after the last convention. I haven't bothered yet, so there's a few games on my hit list that I want to get in. So yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
looking forward to getting a few games into the calendar.
Nice. I'm going to try and do the same after I come back from Disney, because I'm missing having a couple because in the calendar, which leads me on to me, I guess. But Disney, yeah. I've got Disney.
But yeah,
Yay.
Disney. Yeah.
Disney. I've got Disney Post. Yeah.
You're going to
Yeah,
have lots of fun.
I'm going to have lots of fun. I'm going to need a week off afterwards to recover, which I don't have.
So's your bank account.
So is my bank account. Yeah, I got a little nest egg there of money saved, ready to go in there. But it's going to be an expensive week, but I'm looking forward to it. It should be good. But before that, I am playing a 2-player version of Caverna on Tuesday night.
How does that play 2-player?
It's shorter, not obviously shorter because of the player count, but it's shorter round count. So they make the game one round smaller, but I think it plays nice. It doesn't. It's not as cutthroaty as Agricola. There are, when someone takes a space, there are still other spaces that you can, you're not completely blocked out like Agricola is, and so it plays quite nice. So a friend of mine is looking after our guinea pigs. So Nate. Good old Nate Dog, if you're listening.
Love you, Nate.
Love you, Nate. So he's going to look after the guinea pigs. So he needs to be taught how to look after said guinea pigs while we're away.
I say by playing Agricola.
And then after that, I said, let's play something. What do you fancy? Do you fancy playing a Caverna? Not played it before. Yeah, go on then. So we're going to play a quick game of that before he goes. It won't take long. It'll take 90 minutes, if that. So I am going to get a game in before we go, which is good. And then it's my birthday in a few days.
It is.
Happy birthday, Dan.
I'm going to be old.
Hey, watch out.
Join the
3 years
club,
younger
mate.
than me.
Join the club.
I am. This is true.
You don't look it, but
I don't look it. I don't look it. I know that I look much, much younger than you. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Adrian, what have you got planned?
Couple of things. So it's a little bit further off, but going back to an old Stonemaier game. So we've been sent Euphoria.
Euphoria, yeah.
I want to give that a go because
Have you played it before?
No, never played it before, and heard sort of decent things about it. So I want to give that a go. And then out of nowhere, having hunted for it for ages, the first expansion for Underwater Cities randomly hit just a couple of retailers. And I'd previously, I know some people did, buy it for like £50-60 imported.
Wow.
And I found somewhere that had it for £32. So I've got Underwater Cities new discoveries coming through, and so it will probably be the first game I put up to play on my table.
Do you have the first edition of the base game or the second?
No,
edition?
I have the Delicious Games version of both.
Yes,
yeah.
I had the very, very first version of it.
The blue-orange. Was it blue? No, it wasn't blue-orange, was it? It was.
No, I can't remember the name, but I can see the logo, but I can't remember the name of it.
That's why I'm thinking of it as an orange, is because it's a...
I can't,
It's a Rio Grande. Was it Rio Grande? It's the sun, isn't it? And I was thinking it was...
Do you know what? I might have had Delicious Games' version, actually.
with a cupcake on it.
It might have been,
Yeah.
but it was the one where they don't have the dual layer boards.
No, that's in the expansion. That's why I've bought the expansion, is because that's what has the
I
dual
thought they
layer.
did a second edition of it.
No, they did, but it still doesn't have.
Still doesn't have that. Okay.
So that's why I've bought. That's why I was desperate to get the expansion.
Yeah.
Asked the guys when they were in Essen to pick it up, and they waited until like day 3 to go and have a look, and it's all sold out. No shade.
No salt.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, I'm going to have to wait till Essen next year to pick it up. And then randomly just happened to be looking on boardgameprices.co.uk to see what was going on, and noticed that it was on sale at a couple of places. So I've placed an order. So assuming that turns up and it wasn't some massive catfish of in-stockness, then that will be probably my first game night I put up on the new table.
Count me in.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the play of the base game.
Yeah. Again, I don't even know if I'll throw in the actual extras. I just wanted the dual player boards.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's a
great
must.
game. Thought that was great.
Nice. So that's it then. That's it.
That's it.
That's it then.
Yeah.
And with that, folks, our final turn is wrapping up and victory points are being scored. Kerley's probably won. Thanks, everyone, for listening.
So many people outro that way with going, it's probably Kerley who's won. Yeah,
I love
it's quite
that.
a common
I
weird.
I
That's
would
the
argue,
thing.
but I've got a good record. At the
Nice,
moment, I have to
nice.
say. It's going well.
I didn't realise that was a thing.
Yeah, it's like just turns up at like maybe 1 in 6 episode outros. It's probably Kerley.
Probably Kerley's one. He probably has. But if you have enjoyed our show, please give us a like, subscribe, and review us on your podcast player of choice. And we ask you to share our podcast around because we like people to hear us and spread our love. Also, if you want to support the show in different ways, become a subscriber. And you can do that via our Ko-fi website, Kofi. Give us your money and support us that way. That'd be great. But until the next time, whose turn is it?
Regrettably, it's Kerley's.
Bye.